North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking all things California Mid-State Fair, and we are talking about specifically the pageant. And we have Patty Lucas and we have Natalie Boyd with us from the California Mid-State Fair pageant, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. My gosh.
Thanks for having us.
So Patty, what has been going on? I mean, you are constantly on this like roller coaster.
It's a crazy roller coaster. I mean, the girls do a lot of community service, and during winter break, they hit it hard. We were at like 6 different events, from the toy bank to Vine Street, parades. What other events?
The Winter Wonderland.
Winter Wonderland, they did for Atascadero, and just all sorts of different events that they were involved in during, and ringing the bell for the
For Salvation Army?
Salvation Army, yeah. So,
my goodness.
yeah, they were out there.
So let's see. So we had you in last year, and we were talking about the pageant coming up, and I think we had Brooke in as well, right?
Yes.
And then now, or she was the going out princess,
Yes.
queen. And so then we have a new queen, we have new princesses, and so you have a couple months of just kind of low time, and then now you start picking back up, or are you guys constant year round?
We're constant year round. February, we put out the press release for the pageant applications, and this is our 55th this
Wow,
year.
congratulations.
So it's exciting, and but you know, we have other events coming up that the girls are going to be taking part in, like the Sheriff's Rodeo and the Warbirds Wings and Wheels show.
Awesome.
So it just keeps going all year.
Wow. Well, Patty, who did you bring in with you today?
I brought in Natalie Boyd. She's our second runner-up princess. Our Kerrigan, our queen, she's in Texas going to school along with Jenna. And so they're off in Texas having a great old time. And
Well, you're manning the horse here.
Holding down the fort.
Wow. Wow, you're like, all right, I should just give me that crown now. Wow, well, congratulations. Well, welcome
Thank you.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so Natalie, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you born and raised here? Tell me a little bit about your history.
I was born in Los Angeles, but we moved here when I was 1, so all I've known is Paso Robles in SLO County. It's my favorite place. I love my hometown. I'm currently a senior in high school. I'll be in college in the fall. I love dancing. I did that for my talent at the pageant. I love contributing to anything that the pageant does. I love doing the community service. I'm on the track team at my high school. I just love to be involved.
Oh, wow. So tell me how you got involved with, like, what was your mindset? Did somebody push you into, like, putting in your application to participate in the pageant, or how did that come about?
Well, I used to be an avid competitive dancer, and when I was younger, I used to perform at the pageant. Sometimes in between, like, talent and evening gown, to give the girls some time to change, they'd have performances, and that would be me. I'd be on stage, and a couple of the mentors that I used to dance with, like some of the older teenage girls when I was 5, actually did the pageant, and I would see them win, and I was so inspired by it. And so last year I saw that applications came out for the pageant, and one of my dance friends had done the pageant the year prior, and she was like, you should do it, and I was like, okay, that'd be kind of fun. And I figured, it's my junior year, I'll probably be going off to college next year, so I went for it. I really liked the theme. I already knew a couple people trying out for the pageant, so I thought it'd be fun, and I'm so glad I did.
What was that experience like? I've heard from, past participants that, the everything that you go through before you even get to the on stage part is just, you have a lot of schooling, you have a lot of, like, people are teaching you things, how to talk, how to walk in high heels, how to, just your stage presence. Tell me a little bit about that.
Every week is honestly something new, whether it's preparing for an interview or learning how to walk in heels or practicing your talent. It's a big journey, and it's so much fun, and you really bond with the other people that you are trying out with, because it's all kind of new to everybody. Like, even though I danced at the pageant, if all the behind the scenes stuff was completely new to me, and it's just learning together, and it's really exciting, and you just kind of join the sisterhood of pageantry.
Is there any animosity amongst the girls? As you guys are trying to battle it out, is there any, like, you're trying to help your way into the top?
Not really. I mean, I didn't experience that with my year. I don't think that's a big thing with the pageant at all. We're kind of just all supporting each other, and if you don't win, you don't even mind it because you're so happy that the other people won.
Was it scary? Was the path and the journey scary?
A little bit. It definitely tests your confidence. Like I said, it's a very new thing. There's a lot of stuff that you haven't done before, and so it really tests how much you know about yourself and how much sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. It tests how much you know about yourself. It tests how much you can push yourself to do new things, and it's really a great experience.
And Patty, you have judges that are constantly kind of in their journey, but not exposed as they're going to be a judge. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, this last year, we had a really interesting group. We had reached out, my daughter Courtney had reached out to Mrs. United States, and she's only 33, but she came up from down south and came up and she judged the pageant.
Oh, wow.
She just, seeing it from a different aspect, because she had been in the pageant world all her life. And then we had Clinton Kiles, and he's a professional dancer, you name it, he's done it. But we've, over the years, past queens and the board of directors, we always have somebody. And
that's crazy.
So we just pull from all different aspects.
So let's take a step back in time. So this is 55 years.
Yes.
Right? This is your 55th year with the California Mid-State Fair pageant, right?
Well, that not mine, but of the
right.
history of pageant.
Correct.
Yes.
So this is 55 years at the California Mid-State
Yes.
Fair. So how does that make you feel as far as the evolution from the time that it started to now?
Well, it's changed a lot. The name changed over the years. It started out as the Maid of San Luis Obispo County, and then at some point it was part of the Miss USA circuit, and then it morphed into what it is now, the Miss California Mid-State Fair pageant.
And I remember you telling me the maids was basically you would have a representative from each town, and that's what made up the Maid of San Luis Obispo County.
Yes.
And that kind of just fizzled out over the years.
It was up until almost, I think it only stayed around about 5 or 6 years. And no, a little longer than that, because I ran in 76. But it was around probably 10 years. And then it just got, because the winner from the Maid of San Luis Obispo County and all the other counties competed at the state fair.
And do the girls like Natalie here, do they compete on after this or no?
No, that's just here. And I mean, we've been approached about joining the Miss America circuit and all of those. And it's just not our way of going.
Yeah. So, Patty, tell me, how was Natalie? Give me the experience that you experienced on her journey.
Well, she's a good listener.
Yeah.
She takes notes. And that's the biggest part of it all. Because we have so many professional people that come in to work with the girls. And if you take what they say that you need to improve on, your chances are a lot higher than the ones that say, no, I want to do it my way. And it's, we've been around it a lot longer. So, we have a better idea.
And do you think that from when you first met Natalie to now, I mean, has she improved on so many different items?
Well, I've known her from dance.
Oh, okay.
So my daughter danced before she started dancing at, Artistry in Motion she was at. And so she's grown a lot. And she's just, very responsible. She's just a great person. And, getting out there in the public and being a part of meeting their fan base, which is this high, not,
right.
The big people, all the young girls and stuff, because they all want to be queen too.
How does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel so just warm inside. It's really fulfilling. I think one of my favorite parts about the fair was seeing all the kids and they would just go, oh my gosh, it's the court. And it was so exciting. I loved taking pictures with them, even just being around the kids, just talking with them. It's the best thing ever, honestly.
Do you carry on conversations with these young, hope-to-bes?
Oh yes. They're like, where did you get that crown? And I'm like, oh, we competed in a pageant. They're like, I want to do that. And we're like, yeah, you definitely can. It's honestly just the most random things. They will tell you the funniest stuff.
That's awesome. What was probably one of the most challenging things for you in this whole journey?
That's a good question. I think the confidence aspect, honestly, because there's so many different aspects of the pageant that you're trying to make sure, oh, I got to get my interview perfect. I need to learn how to walk in heels. I need to find something to do for my talent, that you can get really nervous. And it's just finding your confidence, being okay if you make mistakes, and just accepting the learning process.
Have you, and I'm sure you've heard this too, Patty, when somebody speaks like publicly, you can sense that little nervous voice and that nervous tone. Kind of has a little bit of a vibration, a little bit of a, So how does your what I assume that your instructors of how to publicly speak, without, how do they get past that? I mean, how do they teach you, or you're talking about confidence. How do they what do you have to do to get past that part?
It's just practice more than anything else. I know every year when I do my final speech on stage, everybody says, you're going to cry. We thought you were going to cry. And I said, no. It's just, usually I have, allergies kicking up right.
Right. My eyes, it must be pollen season.
Yes.
Oh, geez. But I mean, really, there's a little bit of a expertise to that, to public speaking as well. Because I mean, you can have every aspect, every tool except for the public speaking, and completely bomb it and forget, and not have contact, whatever it may be, and just collapse during that portion, right?
Yes, it could. I mean, it's just all practice. And I mean, I've been in a public speaking class, and it's doing all sorts of types of readings, and it's just practice. And that's the biggest part. I mean, Cuesta College has a public speaking class, and you wonder, why do they have that? But to make you learn how to speak better, not say and ands.
I know. I have a horrible problem with that. I gotta stop saying that. I gotta stop saying. But really, it's always in your mind. It's your own mind that's really cannibalizing your efforts, because you're thinking that everybody thinks I'm sounding this way or looking this way, but really it's not. But it's your mind that just really makes you that more nervous than you probably really need to be.
Right. Well, and then a lot of the times you're thinking that you're nervous, but you're not coming off that way. And so that's
right. You hear something in your own voice. It's like whenever you watch yourself back, you're like, oh gosh, why did I do it that way? Why did I say that? Gosh, I need to stop doing it this way. But Natalie, so tell me a little bit about your journey this year. What was that like doing, like you did the parades, right? You were part of anything with the California Mid-State Fair. There are home shows. I mean, tell me about that whole journey from the time that you took second runner-up, right, to now. Tell me about the journey.
It was so much fun, and they don't tell you how incredible it is. I mean, they do, but you hear from past courts, it's incredible, you won't believe the stuff you'll be doing. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. And then you actually get into it and you're like, whoa, okay. So it started out with the crowning. I was kind of surprised I made the court, because it was that confidence, self-reassurance thing. I didn't think I did that well. And it was super exciting. We got to do everything at the fair, whether it was meeting people, giving awards at showing with the animals, meeting celebrities, introducing the stage stuff. That was exciting. Then once that was over, it was just kind of a little bit of a lull, and then it picked up more in fall. And then each thing that would just come up on the calendar, I would just find myself being so excited for. Like, we did the Pioneer Day Parade. That was super fun. Anything in the winter, whether it was the Winter Wonderland, the Toy Bank, all of that, it was just so exciting. It was amazing. I love my girls. I love hanging out with them. I love representing the community with them. And I just love being able to wear this crown and sash and represent the pageant and the fair.
Who were you most starstruck by meeting at the fair last year?
Oh, I would definitely have to say Parker McCollum because it was kind of a interesting meet and greet because we had the backstage passes to go and meet him, like the traditional proper way, and we have a little trailer in the back to kind of cool off, readjust our crowns, that kind of thing. And we were about to go walk out to introduce the Frontier stage, and he was just standing right outside our trailer, and we were like, we're going to take this opportunity and meet Parker McCollum.
Oh, wow.
So we did. It was awesome. We got a couple pictures. We got to meet him. It was awesome.
He's a tall guy.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
I didn't realize he was that tall.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, next to you guys, he looks even taller. But that's crazy.
Well, it was nice because they actually got to talk to him.
Yes.
Because usually in the meet and greets, it's just stand there, take the pictures, hi,
And
bye.
then leave.
All
Yeah.
the chaos of the
And-
other people
yeah,
there and
there's
stuff.
so many people.
Yeah.
He's
that
a
are in the-
really down to earth guy. It was great.
And so I know Brooke Smith, which was your previous queen, she really like upped the level as far as events. You were mentioning that she was on top of everything.
She was on top, she did Special Olympics. I mean, she would call me up, Patty, can I do this? Sure, you can go do this. And, a lot of times I'm there. And so, a lot of people don't realize that, that all these different events, most of the time I'm there, being protective of my girls.
Mm-hmm.
So.
How do you think they did this year?
I thought they did really well. I mean, for a short period of time, and with Jenna and Kerrigan being gone, because we ended up pulling in, which we traditionally don't, Miss Congeniality, Shirley Horzen. So we pulled her in this year. We invited her to one event just to see how she mixed with the group, and the girls are like, we're keeping her. And so she hung out with us the whole fair time, and she's been at all the events and everything.
So, Patty, where do you see this going from here? So we're 55 years. We're in our 55th year. What does the next 20 years look like?
Well, I hope it still keeps going. I know there's been in the pageant circuit of all the different pageants out there, they've all sort of changed, and they're going in different directions. It's title-wise, it could be, I think like the Miss America pageant, they ended up pulling in just into the Miss America also. If you're married, you can also be a part of that. So, I mean, it's really changing, and we keep watching it all over and seeing what's happening.
Because I think one of the stipulations is no kids, or you can't be married, or
something.
something.
Can't be married and no children.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And 17 to 24, and being a resident of the county for at least 6 months.
But do you foresee more of your entries in like your high school bracket more so?
Traditionally, it's the high school bracket. Cuesta College. I already have one applicant, and she's from Cal Poly. So,
Is it Brooke?
No, it's not. No, she can't run
Under a different name. She's under a different name.
Could be.
But I mean, I just see like you said, the California Mid State Fair. Miss California's Mid State Fair has been just kind of like that top of the shelf, top of the podium. And seeing you guys walk around, and I mean, you're basically you're portrayed as glamour. You're portrayed as this local. You're the celebrity of the fair. You really are. And you are the representative of the California Mid State Fair. And so when you get to go to these different events and be that representative now, because everybody else is gone, so you are the representative. How does that make you feel? What does that mean for you?
It's so cool. It's so cool. I don't want to say being a local celebrity, but having people say, hey, aren't you the fair princess? And I'm like, yes, I am. Nice to meet you. And it's great. Like I said, the community is one of my favorite parts, just meeting all the people, being there, representing the fair, representing the community.
And how many girls were part of the lineup last year?
I think it was 8.
8.
It was 8 girls? And so you have 1, 2, 3, and then Miss Congeniality.
Right.
So you basically have 4 girls that are going to be crowned of something.
Right.
Wow. How did that make you feel when you were crowned as the second runner-up?
It felt really good.
Did you cry?
I did not cry. I was close though. It just felt like all my hard work had really paid off, and I got crowned with people who I really adore. I've known Jenna from dance. We had the same dance class past couple years, and then Kerrigan I had really started getting to know before we got crowned, and then Shirley's just great. She got Miss Congeniality for a reason. She's just a ball of energy, and I love her, and it was just great to get crowned with all of them too.
And what about the other girls left? Because nobody likes to see somebody like kind of just defeated. But how does? I'm sure they congratulate you and all that stuff, and you congratulate them. I mean, obviously you guys are there, all battling it out, right?
Right.
And so, how does that make you feel?
I think it's difficult, and I do feel for them because if I was in their place, I know I'd kind of be a little upset. But I just know that they've overwhelmingly supported us. I've seen them at public events, and I'm just so happy to see them. And I just think we're mutually supportive of each other.
It's kind of like cheerleaders.
Yeah.
I always feel cheerleaders are really supportive. Doesn't matter if it's them, their great friend, or not. Up on the stage, like when you go into competitions. I mean, they're right there, and so I'd imagine that it's probably something like that, to where they didn't win, they weren't part of the top four. But yet they continue that support, for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Patty, can they come back out and put in their application this year?
All the ones that did not receive an MS Congeniality can put out their applications, which I hope they do come back. During the fair, a lot of them said, no, we're coming back. We had such a good time doing this. And a lot of it, they came out of their shells. They all came out of their shells. And so that's, now for the two princesses, they have to wait a year and then they can try again.
Okay.
But Queen, this is it.
Now, do they? So the Queen and the two princesses, do they have any affiliations for the next year, or after this serve, they're done?
They're pretty much done. I mean, a lot of times, like with Brooke, I called her in for a couple events with Atascadero, and that helped Natalie out, and that was great. But most of the time, it's pretty much they're done, and it's something they can have in the history books.
Now, did you know Brooke beforehand?
I don't think I did. I did know the first runner-up, Princess Sarah. I danced with her for a long time, and I kind of knew of Brooke just kind of mutually, but I didn't really get to know her until the pageant process.
That's a good mentor, right?
Absolutely.
As far as like her personality, and I think, she has this unbelievable amount of confidence I don't even see in any young ladies anywhere. But I can only imagine that strive to be to have that confidence level, out there. And I think a lot of the agriculture, the stuff that we're allowing the kids to do, showing animals do you show animals at the fair?
I do not.
Any of that kind of stuff really puts you guys at a young age to have that public, prowess of not, being so terrified, and being able to hold yourself and the confidence and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
So like I said, I think it's awesome that you guys did this. I'm congratulate you, because like I said, it is a lot, and I can only imagine what they expect of you. Now but you don't have anybody to fall back onto because you're the main person because everybody else is in school, right?
Yep.
You're like, okay. So you probably, you had to strap on the boots and just do it and get through it. So I congratulate you.
Thank you. I'm happy to do it though. It's very fun.
Did you already know how to walk in high heels?
I kind of did. At my old dance studio, they had a heels class where you learned how to dance in heels. So I knew how to dance in heels. Wasn't completely sure how to walk in heels, but I learned.
What are you going to school for?
I'm going to school for sports broadcasting.
No kidding. What's your aspiration?
I would love to be a social media manager for the National Hockey League or do on-ice interviews.
National Hockey League, huh? Wow. So direct. I mean, why hockey? I mean, is that just your love?
Yeah, I love that sport. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. If I'm upset, I just watch hockey highlights and I'm better for the rest of the day. My mom's side of the family is actually from Minnesota, and so they're huge hockey nuts, and so I think I kind of got the bug from them. Thank you.
I'll straighten her out there.
So, do you have any experience or any type of like direct influence, like from your family for sports broadcasting?
Not really. I mean, my dad was a sound engineer in LA, and so he really kind of got me, I don't want to say involved in it, but kind of got me exposed to that kind of thing, like speaking well and recording stuff and doing little videos at home. So I would kind of say I got it from him. I got something from both sides.
But at hockey, it's just, I mean, obviously we don't have hockey here, right? We don't have hockey, right?
No,
Okay.
we have no hockey.
Up north, but you know.
Up
But-
north and down south.
Yep.
Interesting. Wow. Have you played hockey? Have you played it
I
before?
don't know. I wish I would, but we're in California.
Huh.
I'm more of a
Interesting.
watcher and enjoyer.
That's an interesting, so specific subject. But I mean, obviously, you'd have to take some other stuff to take that as your because that's your major, right?
Yes.
Sports broadcasting.
Yeah.
And so you're going to Texas, the same college that the princess and the queen is at.
No,
Right?
Different college, but
Oh.
same state.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just everybody is in Texas.
Yeah. We're all going to be at different universities, but within 3 hours of each other.
Wow. So you're already locked in, and this is what you're doing. You
Yes.
are going there. There's no changes. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already committed. I'm super excited.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
And so now you are preparing for this year's fair, right? So you'll still be here. You'll probably leave before the fair, or how does that work?
I leave after the fair. It's
Okay.
kind of a week or two after the fair is done. It worked out perfectly. So I'll be there the whole process.
So what does your role look like from here to the fair the night that you guys crown the new queen and princess?
I'll be mentoring, volunteering at any meetings. I remember last year the court was a big help if you had any questions, if you wanted to practice stuff, if you needed pointers, and that's what I'll be doing. I can't wait to do that. I'll just be helping out the girls. You know, it's a really nerve-wracking process, like I said, so I'll just be kind of reassuring them, telling them it's going to be okay, and just giving them advice.
Patty, do you have any type of lean on them for their input as far as on the contestants?
Not really.
No?
I mean, we do get together and talk about the girls and see who needs more help. And then, like last year, I would say, Brooke, this one needs more help. You know, can you work with her one-on-one outside of our meetings? And so then, of course, Brooke would. But that's pretty much all the talking we ever did about the new contestants.
So you don't necessarily lean on them a little bit. It's like, hey, give me your input, on, this person, that person type stuff.
Well, and it's, I have no say in the outcome of this whole process. And it's pretty much, it's all done on a point basis. You know, we have points for all the meetings before and events before the actual fair. Then they have an interview, talent, an evening gown, and a final question. But it all depends on their points. And, usually we have 3 to 5 judges. So that makes it interesting.
Have you ever had to terminate anybody during the process?
Almost.
Really?
Yeah. It's been quite a few years, but we were close.
Jeez.
We had a coming to Jesus meeting.
Oh, really? With you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Me and the fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that, and even after the fact, that they have to be held at a certain level, right? Just you're representing the fair, so I mean, there's probably some things that they can and can't do, or
Right.
especially now social media is such a huge part of anybody's life.
Well, it's so true. And my biggest thing is making sure they're put in the best limelight of whatever event we're taking part in, and letting the fair know. And that's the biggest key, is letting them know what we're doing. And like coming up is the sheriff's rodeo, and they want to use them with some publicity stuff beforehand. And I had to get it all approved, and they're just like, sure, more for all the girls, and getting it out there, the word out there.
Awesome. We'll be promoting the Sheriff Rodeo here as well.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, obviously, I'm sure, being a part of that, we'll maybe have you guys just talking on the screens and stuff like that during the commercials. So, because I think that's a really good, relationship, with the Sheriff Department, California Mid-State Fair, and, just another organization that's, growing and being such an awesome, event every single year to be a part of. So,
Yeah.
So, Patty, for the next, let's see, we're in end of March. You got gosh, when is the fair this year?
July 17th through the 28th.
July 7th. So 17th through the 20th.
Pageant.
Okay. So what does it look like now for you between now and the fair?
Well, getting the word out there, and we've had press releases the fair's put out, and then Wednesday we have an informational meeting. If you are on the fence, well, maybe I want to do this, maybe I don't, we'll come to the meeting and we'll help you answer any questions that you don't that you would like to know about. And then our applications are due on April 12th.
What are some of the questions that the girls ask that, because essentially they're seeing if it fits for them too, because obviously there's a lot of commitment.
Yes.
Right? A lot of commitment.
And the biggest question is, especially the FFA and 4-H, is livestock. Well, I have an animal at the fair, and that's number one. And I go back to my story from, I think it was 05. It was 05 year. All three, the queen and the two princesses, didn't have just one animal. They had two.
Right.
So we were shuffling all the time, and we would have different meetups. Okay, you're in the show ring at this time. When you get done, we'll meet us here or wherever we were meeting. But that's the biggest question. Your number one obligation is to your animal, because that's originally what you're coming for. But then your next commitment is being part of the royalty.
And I think, do you think that helps and puts you guys in the pageant in a better light to have your contestants be so involved?
Yes, because they have a better idea about the fair. It's just a lot of people think it's the carnival and the concerts. And you have a lot more than that. You've got your livestock, your home arts division, your floral division, plus all the other little areas that they have added to the fair, and the public judging and things like that.
And so this coming Wednesday, you have your informational meeting. Can you tell us about that?
Well, it will be at 5:30, and it'll be in the main office there at the fairgrounds, right up front on Riverside. And it'll be 45 minutes long, and there will be people there that will be working with the girls during to crowning.
Now, is this the first meeting for the season?
Yes, this is the first one. And then our next meeting will be after we have all our contestants, which will be April 24th.
And so this doesn't necessarily have to be, you've already filled out the application.
No.
This is just, if you want to just look at it, see what it's all about. See if it's for you.
Information.
If you have any questions.
Right. And parents obviously come along.
Parents. Well,
Sure.
and a lot of times the parents will show up because their daughter is involved in sports. Well, she's at a soccer game or track, like you. She's going to be doing her track
I'll
thing
be
on
at a
Wednesday.
track meet.
And so the parents will come and they'll hear about it. And that's really good too.
Do you feel like some parents have a lot of questions, more so than the potential contestants?
Sometimes, because I think they do the thought process all the way through, whereas the future contestants, would only think about just little bits and pieces, just focusing on one area.
In 55 years, so you've had to have at least one princess, queen, court come through that has a daughter that tried to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Jenna, Susan, Cindy, her mom was in the court. And then we had
Her sister, Cody.
her sister Cody was a princess. And those are the most recent ones. And then we've had other ones too.
Huh.
And it's fun when you have the old, not really the old, because I'm not old either. But, you have the parents and then their daughters are trying out for the same thing.
Is there any type of the old clad coming in? Like you have a night where, you invite the old courts and queens and kind of have a celebration with the new?
Well, we did at our 50th. We put a thing out there saying that, if you weren't part of the court, please let us know so you're invited to our luncheon. And so we had around 20 people that showed up. I mean, we had one come in from Washington, and they were also happy to be there and be a part of it. And then they were there for the pageant, and some of the ladies showed up in their evening gowns that they wore on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. So we're good friends with Cheryl Blank, and I guess she was part of a court years ago, and she wears her sash, which she wore last year. She goes to the crowning, which I didn't know that of her. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I was at the court in whatever year it was.
They give special seating and all of that, but it's a lot of fun to have them come back and
awesome.
give their little inputs and see where it went from to where it is now.
Very cool. So at what point will the Queen and the first runner-up be back in town, or how does that work?
Well, they will be back in town on April 5th at the fair puts on, the board of directors of the fair have a big event that they'll be here for. And that's everybody will be here then, and we're hoping the sheriffs will do some of their stuff while they're here.
Awesome. And so there's a website somebody can go to get more information right now, registration.
They can go to our site on Facebook, the Miss California Mid-State Fair pageant, and use the QR code, and it takes you right to the site to register. And the midstatefair.com, they have their site too.
Okay, so you could just search California Mid-State Fair and go right to it.
Right
It's going
to it.
to navigate you to wherever you need to be. So awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Natalie, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
You're a great representative of the California Mid-State Fair. I'm sure you had a blast.
Absolutely.
Right? You're like, gosh, it's coming to an end.
Yeah, it's been a good ride, but it's almost over.
But you're ready.
Yeah.
You're ready for the next step.
Absolutely. I'm so happy. I'm going to be so excited to help the new girls coming in. So it's been a good time.
Very cool. Well, good luck in Texas.
Thank you.
Becoming a hockey sports broadcaster.
Thank you very much.
I don't watch hockey, but I'm sure it gets crazy,
You
and
can
you're going to have a lot of
start.
fun doing that. Wow. Well, congratulations and good luck doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Patty, thanks for coming on. Thanks for
you.
bringing on these young girls, and appreciate everything you do. And I'm sure you have a blast.
I do.
This is probably more fun for you than the girls, I'd imagine.
It is, and I get so excited about, it's like when we met Patrick
Patrick Mahomes. Not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick McCall.
Patrick Mahomes.
And I mean, that was just, I said, the girls are like, oh my God, he's there. And I said, well, let's just go this way. And then I said, no, we're going back and we're going to meet him. And I was so excited for them to
Sure.
actually do a one-on-one, because those are probably the best moments, is when they're they come out of their trailers and they want to talk to the girls.
And you get to be the only one really there in that raw moment.
Yes.
Not the made up, this is what's going to have those raw moments, and you get to be a part of their journey, their emotion, and so that's super awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
Very cool. Well, Patty, thank you again, for coming on, and
you're
we
welcome.
appreciate, you coming on and telling us your journey along with theirs as well. And again, if this Wednesday night at the California Mid-State Fair is your informational meeting there to find out if it's a good fit. I'm sure that's probably the most important part.
It is. It's the most important.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, as we get closer to the fair, let's have you back on and bring on some more girls, maybe some of the contestants. Bring on a couple of them, and let's get their perspective of the journey, leading up to the fair.
That would be great. Yes.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
All right,
And
thank
look
you.
forward to the California Mid-State Fair pageant this year.
All right.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure if you are interested or somebody is to get to the California Mid-State Fair, you can go to the website, Facebook page, you can just search it and get out there to that meeting on Wednesday to see if it's going to be right fit for you or your daughter or your aunt, uncle, whatever. Not your uncle, but as you know, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Santo Brothers Plumbing, Pacific 805 Spas, Hanson Enterprises, Story and Termite Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, and Airflow Filter Services. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Atascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.